Good evening and welcome to the Marion High School Auditorium and this year's production of Hello, Dolly. Please take a moment to silence your phones or put them onto airplane mode. The show tonight will run approximately 2 hours with a 15-minute intermission. At intermission, there are some light refreshments available in the hallway. They are complimentary, but there is a tip jar or donation jar that you can place money in if you so choose. And now, please enjoy Hello, Dolly.
She's the one that spinsters recommend. Just name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch 'em up. Don't forget to bring your maid and and she'll match 'em up. Call on Dolly if your eldest daughter needs a friend. Just name the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch 'em up. Don't forget to bring your maid and she'll match 'em up. Call on
Dolly Levi. That's right, Mrs. Dolly Levi, born Gallagher. Social introductions. Ladies and gentlemen of most excellent family introduced under the most respectable conditions in an atmosphere of elegance and refinement. Object matrimony. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to offer my usual lightning service because I have previous appointment in Yonkers, New York, arranging the second marriage of Mr. Horace Vandergelder, the well-known half-a-millionaire. And as my late husband Ephraim Levi used to say, means he's about $60,000 in cash. Now, I will try my best to get you carried over someone's threshold before the week is out. Now, I might also mention, I provide financial consultation, instructions on the guitar and mandolin, short distance hauling, yes, and varicose veins reduced.
Call on Dolly. She's the one the spinsters recommend. Just name
artist. You know, I'm somewhat of an artist myself. I happen to do those silhouettes with scissors and black paper. Here's one about a rehan looking the other way. I have to do them like that because I'm no good at noses.
Mrs. Levi, the train for Yonkers leaves in 5 minutes, and if we don't get there on time...
I know. And not only will Mr. Vandergelder give you permission to marry his niece Ermengarde, but he will also dance at your wedding, and not alone either, because I happen to be engaged in finding him a suitable second wife. What he really wants is someone to clean the house. As my late husband from Levi used to say, marriage is a bribe to make a housekeeper think she's a householder.
I know all about it, Mrs. Levi. Half New York says that he's going to marry Mrs. Irene Malloy this very afternoon.
And that's exactly why I'm going to Yonkers this morning, and I can take on your case as well, and I can knock off 4 lovebirds with 1 stone. Or whatever I'll throw at them. Oh, and well. Looks like I have nothing here to pay my train fare with, only large bills. 5s and 7s.
I have to have some change around here somewhere. I just hope this isn't a wild goose chase, Mrs. Levi.
Speaking of poultry, I also provide fresh Jersey eggs, surgical corsets reboned, ears pierced, and ears pierced replugged.
And your sister wants it, she'll snatch 'em up. Don't forget to bring your maidens and she'll match 'em up. Call on Dolly.
Mrs. Levi, what's in all this for you?
A living, Mr. Kemper. Some people paint, some sew, I meddle. I have always been a woman who arranges things for the pleasure and the profit it derives. I have always been a woman who arranges things like furniture, daffodils, and lives. When a boy with a timid tongue meets a girl with a diffident air, why should the tortured creatures beat around the bush when heaven knows Mother Nature always needs a little push? I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there. When a girl over 6'3" loves a man who comes up to her ear, surely it's obvious she'll never be seduced till some kind soul condescends to give her beau a little boost. I put my hand in here, I put my hand in there. I have always been a woman who arranges things. It's my duty to assist the Lord above. I have always been a woman who arranges things like luncheon parties, poker games, and love. My aplomb at cosmetic art turned a frump to a trump lady fair. She had a countenance a little bit like Scrooge, but oh, today you would swear the Lord himself applied the rouge. I put my hand in here. I put my hand in there. I twist a little, turn a little, hem a little, curve a little, shape a little, mold a little. Some young chap gets sold a little. Then I move my fist a little. Some young bride gets kissed a little. Pressure with the thumbs. Matrimony comes when I put my hand in there.
Mrs. Levi, the train!
Yes, I know the train for Yonkers leaves soon. Now you go buy our tickets, find us a window seat, order us some lunch, and I'll meet you on board. Ephraim Levi, I'm going to get married again. And I'm going to marry Horace Vandergelder for his money, so I can send it out among the people like rainwater, just like you taught me. And I'd like a sign from you, sometime today, knowing that you approve. No, it won't be a marriage in the sense that we had one, but I will try to make him happy. And I'm tired, Ephraim. I'm tired from living hand to mouth. So I'd like that sign.
Mrs. Levi!
Sometime today. Now don't you worry about a thing, Mr. Kemper. We'll get on that train, we'll get to Yonkers, and you'll marry Ermengarde. Just leave everything to me. Till pink wiggles, some young maiden gives the giggles. Then I make my knuckles active. My, he says she's so attractive. Then I move my index digit. Then they both begin to fidget. Then I clench my palm. A preacher reads a psalm when I put my hand in there.
To play Yonkers my Yonkers with all that bellowing in my ear.
I can't help it, Uncle. I love Ambrose Kemper.
And I say you're too young to be in love with anybody. Take this.
I'm not too young. I'm 17, and in another year, I'll be an old maid.
Dare to be an old maid, Ermengarde, but I forbid it. Don't cry in front of the store.
I can't help it, Uncle. I'm unhappy.
Then you'll go and weep in New York for a while or it won't be noticed. Now go upstairs and pack your trunk. And don't get any tears on the lock. It was just oiled. Cornelius! Barnaby!
You stamped Mr. Vandergelder?
I did. I've got news for you both. I'm going to New York this afternoon to march in the 14th Street Association Parade. And when I come back, you're going to have a new mistress.
Well, I'm too young for that, Mr. Vandergelder.
Not yours, hell and damnation. Mine! I mean, I'm getting married again. In honor of the occasion, Cornelius, I'm promoting you to chief clerk.
And what am I now, Mr. Vandergelder?
You're an impertinent fool, that's what you are. And I'm promoting you from impertinent fool to chief clerk. Any questions?
Yes!
What?
Does the chief clerk get one evening off a week?
That's how you're gonna thank me for the promotion, is it? No, sir, you'll work the store as usual. Now get back to work! And don't forget to put the lid back on the sheep dip. Weekends off. Marrying artists. Foolishness. 99% of the people in this world are fools, and the rest of us are in great danger of contamination. Why, even I was once young, which was foolish. And I got married, which was foolish. And I was poor, which was the most foolish of them all. Then my wife went and died, which was foolish of her. And I became old, which was quite sensible of me. And I became rich, friendless, and mean, which in Yonkers is about as far as you can go. No, I know what you're wondering now. Why someone with such good sense as me would have a dream of getting married again. Well, the answer's quite simple, you see. This house, without a woman, would be an empty shell. And pretty dirty, too. It takes a woman all powdered and pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft resin fingers for dumping the ashes. Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. A constantly there for washing and bluing and shoeing the mare. And it takes a female for setting the table and weaving the guernsey and cleaning the stable. Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. And so she'll work until infinity. 3 cheers for femininity. Get out of here! In the winter, she'll shovel the ice and lovingly set out the traps for the mice. She's a joy and treasure for practically speaking. For who can you turn when the plumbing is leaking?
That dainty woman, that fragile woman, that sweetheart, that mistress, that wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman,
A husky woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. Get out of here! All of you, go! Freeloaders.
Congratulations, congratulations, 1,000 congratulations.
What?
Oh, my congratulations. Almost all of New York is practically buzzing with the fact that you proposed to Mrs. Irene Malloy. The streets are lined with eligible young maidens, prostrate with grief. All my congratulations and sympathy.
Sympathy?
Did I say that? No, slip of the tongue. No, I'm delighted with the happy news. After all, she wasn't easy to unload. But I, for one, never believe the rumors.
Rumors? What rumors?
Nothing to be upset about. According to all known fact, her last husband passed on quite naturally. It was just so sudden. A few spoonfuls of chowder she made special for him, and... But it could happen to anyone. No, there's no truth in it. Just one word of advice, Mr. Vandergelder. Eat out.
You mean to say...
I mean to say nothing. Just friendly advice, Mr. Vandergelder. By the way, she just got her wedding dress. You should see it. It's beautiful. Black. Anyways, as I was saying, congratulations on your forthcoming nuptials, and may you rest in... May guardian angels watch over you both, particularly at dinner.
And now see here. You introduced me to Mrs. Malloy yourself, and rumors or not, I still intend on calling on her this afternoon.
Ah, very well. Means I'll just have to go back to New York and tell the other woman, the heiress, not to wait.
What did you say?
Oh, nothing. A word. Heiress.
Particulars, Mrs. Levi. I demand particulars. Her name?
It's, Money. Ernestina Money.
What a lovely name.
Yes, picture this if you will. Hair as shiny as a newly minted dime, eyes as round as silver dollars, and skin as soft as mossy as an old greenback.
I can feel it now.
Yes, age 19, weight 102, and waist 47.
Waist 47?
Yes, that's with her money belt.
I ain't got time, Mrs. Levi. I have to take my niece Ermengarde to New York this afternoon until she forgets a certain Ambrose Kemper.
I could do that for you. I know how to handle such things.
Then I'm marching in the 14th Street Association Parade.
What a coincidence. Guess who happens to be on the main float? The spirit of 14th Street, Miss Money. Her mother was a cash, you know.
All right, I will meet Miss Money, but I still intend on visiting Mrs. Malloy first.
Oh, the races you make me run, Horace. Very well, I'll meet you outside of Mrs. Irene Malloy's hat shop at 2:30 as usual.
And one more thing. Suppose I don't decide on Mrs. Malloy, and I don't like Miss Money neither.
Well, then it just so happens I have one more name on my list. A name I know just as well as my own. But we won't get to that now. Wait till you see Ernestina. A vision. A dream.
It takes a woman all powdered and pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft dresden fingers.
Yes, it takes a woman. You know, Ephraim, I think I'll have that room over there done in blue wallpaper. Yes, in blue. Ermengarde, Ambrose, get down here. We have plans to make.
Chief clerk. Promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk. And if I'm good, in 10 years, I'll be promoted to chief clerk again. 33 years old and I still don't get an evening free. When am I going to begin to live?
Well, you can live on holidays, Cornelius.
Did you forget what we did last Christmas? All those canned tomatoes went bad and exploded, and you and I cleaned up the mess all afternoon. Do you call that living?
Well, no.
Barnaby, you and I are going to New York.
Wait, you mean close the store?
Uh-huh.
Cornelius, we can't.
We'll have to. So more rotten tomato cans are going to explode.
Holy cabooses! Wait, how do you know?
I'm going to light a candle under them, that's how I know. They'll cause such a smell, customers won't be able to come into the place for 24 hours. That'll give us an evening free. We're going to New York, Barnaby, and we're going to live. We're going to have a good meal. We're going to spend our money. We're going to be in danger. We're going to get arrested.
Holy cabooses.
And one more thing. Neither of us are coming back to Yonkers until we've each kissed a girl.
Well, you can't do that, Cornelius. You don't know any girls.
I'm 33 years old, Barnaby. I got to begin sometime.
Well, I'm only 17, Cornelius. It's not so urgent for me.
New York, Barnaby. Elevated trains, the lights of Broadway. The stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum.
A stuffed whale?
A stuffed whale. What do you say, Barnaby?
Yes, Cornelius! Yes!
All right, now the first thing that we need to do is make you independent. I know we'll get you a job. Can you dance?
Mrs. Levi, I'm an artist. I paint.
Well then. Here's my card.
Mrs. Dolly Levi, painters taught how to dance.
Yes, there happens to be a man by the name of Rudolph Weisenweber at the Harmonia Gardens. Let's see if I can't give him a note and have you entered in the polka contest tonight. The winner is a week's engagement and a solid gold cup. Oh, the cups we won, Ephraim and me.
Mrs. Levi, no fiance of mine is going to dance in a cafe. And I don't mind saying that I can't believe that you have acquaintances at a place like that.
Oh, no, not acquaintances, friends. Dear friends, as time's gone by. My late husband Ephraim say you could find life in anywhere you could find it. Cafes, ballrooms, and yes, even theaters. And every night like clockwork, we'd come down those steps, even when times were bad. Oh, yes.
Mrs. Levi, it's all fine to come down like clockwork, but you want Ermengarde to work there.
Why, it's the only way to show Horace Vandergelder that we mean business. Now you two go to the Harmonia Gardens and tell the Mrs. Levi sent you. And incidentally, tell Rudolph that Dolly's coming back and she'd like a table for two and a chicken for 8 o'clock.
All right, everything looks good, Cornelius. Now, hold the candle under the ones on top. Not too close. This will look like they're ready to bust.
Holy cabooses! Cornelius, I can smell it up here!
Let's get dressed, Barnaby. We're going to New York. Out there, there's a world outside of Yonkers. Way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby. Out there, full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glisten, Barnaby. Listen. velveteen and dime cigars. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white in a perfume night where the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town in one of those new horse-drawn open cars. We'll see the shows at Delmonico's and we'll close the town in a world, and we won't come home until we kissed a girl.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Stroll down the street and have your picture took. Just like a dream, your spirits seem to turn around. And that Sunday shine is a perfect sign that you feel as fine as you look. Beneath your parasol, the world is all a smile. It makes you feel brand new down to your toes. Get out your feathers, your patent leathers, your beads and buckles and bowls. For there's no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes.
Come on, Barnaby, we're going to New York. Elevated trains, Barnaby, the lights of Broadway. Holy cabooses! Stuffed whale of Barnum's Museum. Wow!
Oh dear. Oh my. Would you look at that? 10 o'clock and the shop not open yet? It's all with this impending marriage, I tell you. What marriage? Oh, I thought you already knew. Why, the marriage Mrs. Levi is arranging between Mr. Horace Vandergelder, the well-known Yonkers half-a-millionaire, and my employer and dear friend, Mrs. Irene Malloy. Although, if you ask me, he'll never take the place of her late husband, Mr. Peter Malloy. May he rest in peace wherever he is. I'm not really sure. He was a caution, you know. It's all too much, what with late husbands and new marriages, and on top of everything else, Mrs. Mortimer returning this hat for the 3rd time. She wants more cherries and feathers, to catch a bow, I suppose. Although, if you ask me, she'd do better with a nice heavy veil. I told her ribbons down her back is what we'll be wearing this summer if we want to catch a gentleman's eye. But she'd have none of it. She wants more cherries and feathers. And on today, of all days, when poor sweet Mrs. Malloy has had enough on her mind, with all this marriage stuff and what, Minnie? With the door. It's stuck. It's stuck? Then pull. Oh, that's how it works. Anyway, and as I was saying, Mrs. Malloy, I could just bite my tongue out for the things I've said and the things I'm going to say, but as long as I've gotten this far, I might as well go all the way. Mrs. Malloy, why
Say it, Minnie. Why have I decided to marry Horace Vandergelder?
Mrs. Malloy, I didn't ask you that. I'd rather die on the rack than ask you such a personal question, but as long as you did bring it up.
I am marrying Horace Vandergelder for one reason and one reason alone, Minnie. To get away from the millinery business. I hate hats.
Mrs. Malloy.
And I can no longer stand being suspected of being a wicked woman with nothing to show for it.
You know that's not
Don't
true.
protest, Minnie. All millineresses are suspected of being wicked women. That's why I can't go into restaurants or balls or theaters. That'd be all the proof they need. Take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Horace Vandergelder or I break out of this place like a fire engine. Oh, no. Not Miss Mortimer again.
Don't worry, I can take care of
No,
it.
Minnie. Leave it be. You can make another hat for Miss Mortimer if you like. I'm wearing this one myself.
Mrs. Malloy, you can't. You're a widow, and that hat, well, it's provocative, that's what.
Is it, Minnie? Well, who knows who may walk into the shop today, and provocative may be just what I want to be.
Mrs. Malloy.
I'll be wearing ribbons down my back this summer, blue and green and streaming in the yellow sky. So if someone special comes my way this summer, he might notice me passing by, and so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow behind me that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye, and he might smile and take me by the hand this summer, making me recall how lovely love can be. And so I will proudly wear ribbons down my back, shining in my hair, that he might notice me.
could make me ask this next question I'm about to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyhow.
Do you love Horace Vandergelder? No, Minnie, I don't. Peter Malloy, God rest him, was my share of love. And I'm not saying I was shortchanged. Once is enough for a woman as long as it's true love. And it was that. Minnie, look! There's two men staring into the shop. Men? Why, I do believe they mean to come in here. This is Malloy. Men, in the shop, whatever shall we do? Do? Why, flirt with them, of course. I'll give you the short one.
Mrs. Malloy, you with all that talk of love.
Love enough I've had, Minnie. It's a bit of adventure I could do with now. We'll get them all heated up and then drop them cold. It'll be good practice for married life. Now, you go into the workroom, Minnie. I know some ways we can perk up our appearances. Besides, a bit of weight will only make them more nervous and easier for us, too.
If you say vampire, I'll scream.
Vampire! I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow behind me that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye. Oh, Minnie, we'll get an adventure out of this yet.
Get an adventure out of this yet, Barnaby. All day long we wander around New York and nothing happens. Then we come to the quietest street in the city and suddenly...
Vandergelder!
Is he still out there? Go look.
He's sitting right on that bench. Cornelius, are you sure this is an adventure?
You don't have to ask, Barnaby. When you're in one, you'll know it all right. How much money have you got left?
Let's see. Ooh, not much, Cornelius. 40 cents for the train back, 30 cents for dinner, 20 cents to see the whale. Why?
When those ladies come out, we'll have to pretend to be customers. Customers, that's it. Maybe the best thing to do is to make them think we're rich. Then we won't have to spend anything at all. We're two men about town looking for hats for ladies. Good afternoon, Mrs.
Malloy.
Here, Cornelius Hackle.
Here, Barnaby Tucker.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Now, what can I do for you?
Well,
we're hats, you see, and we were just looking to buy a couple of hats to Malloy with, and...
We'd like a hat. For a lady, of course, and everybody told us to go to Mrs. Malloy's because she's so pretty. I mean, her hats are so pretty.
And so reasonable, Cornelius. As reasonable as under $1. Will leave us just enough to see the whale.
You've got to pay him no mind, ma'am. He's come all the way from Yonkers to see the stuffed whale, and he's all excited. Just keep an eye on that street, Barnaby, and maybe you'll see it pass by.
Is it big and black with mean little red eyes?
Yes.
Well, it's sitting right on that bench.
Excuse me, but did you say Yonkers, Mr. Hackle?
Oh, yes, ma'am, Yonkers. And forgive me for saying this, but you should see Yonkers. By that, I mean perhaps Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers as well.
Oh, I'm a widow.
You are? Barnaby! She's a widow! Oh. Well, that's too bad. I'm sure Mr. Malloy would have loved Yonkers, especially in that hat. I mean, on you, of course, not Mr. Malloy. May he rest in peace. You're Catholic, aren't you? Well, don't let that worry you. I'd be willing to change. Mrs. Malloy, if you should ever happen to have a Sunday free, I'd be more than pleased to show you Yonkers from top to bottom.
Well, as it just so happens, Mr. Hackle, I may be there sooner than you think.
Oh, really?
You see, I have a friend who lives in Yonkers.
Do you?
Perhaps you know him.
Perhaps we do.
Although, it's usually so silly to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's Mr. Vandergelder.
Horace Vandergelder?
Vandergelder's hay and feed?
Oh, do you know him?
No, no, no.
Mr. Vandergelder's a well-liked man and substantial, they tell me.
A lovely man, Mrs. Malloy. Absolutely lovely. Has only one fault as far as I know. He's hard as nails.
Cornelius.
Now, I wonder if your friend might like this one.
Look out! Begging your pardon, Mrs. Malloy.
Gentlemen, what are you doing?
Help us, Mrs. Malloy. We'll explain later.
Come out of here this minute!
Or as innocent as can be, Mrs. Malloy.
Oh, really? Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, I demand that both of you come out of here right this second. I'll be forced to... Oh, Mr. Vandergelder!
Mrs. Malloy. I don't suppose you've seen Mrs. Levi around here, have you? She's supposed to meet me on that bench out there not 10 minutes ago. No matter. When she comes looking for me, she can find me. When I make an appointment, I like people to be on time. Here's a present for you. Chocolate-covered peanuts, unshelled. The expensive kind. Did I see you talking to two men just now?
Men, Mr. Vandergelder, what would men be doing in a ladies' hat shop? Now, let's go into the workroom. I'm so anxious for you to see.
I saw it last week.
Oh, so you did. Well, Mr. Vandergelder, what's new in the hay and feet business? I hear you have 3 friends, all hard as nails. I mean...
What on earth are you talking about?
Yonkers, I hear it's a beautiful city.
And who, might I ask, has been telling you about Yonkers?
Nobody, a friend.
What kind of friend?
Well, you see, he...
He?
A customer, Mr. Vandergelder. Someone quite well-to-do, as a matter of fact. He was in here buying hats for ladies. You might even know him, although it's usually so silly to ask in cases like that, isn't it? It's Mr. Cornelius Hackle?
Did you say Hackle?
Why, yes,
He just happens to be my chief clerk is all. Mrs. Moore, I demand an explanation.
And I intend to give you one. Why shouldn't you know Cornelius Hackle? Everyone in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. Why, he's at all the operas and all fashionable homes, and he's at the Harmonia Gardens at least 3 times a week.
That's impossible. The man only has $146.35, and I keep it all in my own personal safe.
Oh, Mr. Vandergelder, you're killing me. He's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The Erie! Both.
It ain't the same man.
Who took the horses off of Jenny Lynn's carriage and pulled them through the streets? Cornelius Hackle. And who stole the waiter's uniform from the Fifth Avenue Hotel and dropped the oyster down Miss Astor's? Well, it doesn't matter. It was Cornelius Hackle. He's the playboy of New York, you know. I can see why you were taken with him, Irene, just like everyone else.
Oh, really, Dolly? I thought
Excuse me. Thank you. There's a man in there.
Minnie, bite your tongue.
If there is a man in that closet,
You can, Mr. Vandergelder. It's too dangerous.
no man who hides in a lady's closet could possibly frighten me, Mrs. Malloy. Now stand aside.
No man, indeed. I'd hate to be the man who'd come up against muscles like these under that coat. Ripple, ripple, back and forth, and ripple, ripple.
Mrs. Levi, will you stand aside?
Stand indeed. That's exactly what the courts will want to know when you look through that closet without a search warrant. If you don't stand for the laws of this great country, what do you stand for? I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. Betsy Ross's flag is passing. Do you see him on the hill at Gettysburg? Neath that great triumphal arch. If you see him as he's trampling through the graves of wrath, send him march, march, march.
Has this not affected you, sir? I came here at 14 years of age as a young immigrant girl from a land that oppressed my people, and I must echo what was said by the great patriotic American,
Moses.
Moses! I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. There's a tear-stained eagle passing. Do you see him on the bridge at Waterloo? Neath that great triumphal arch. If you hear him singing Dixie in the sugar cane, stand up and march, march, march. I stand for America and a march for orphans.
I think that Vendigo. There couldn't possibly be a man in that closet. God bless you.
Mrs. Malloy!
All right, Mr. Vandergelder, there is a man in that closet.
I knew it!
And another under that table.
What the devil?
There also happens to be a very reasonable explanation for all this, but for the present, good afternoon.
My, oh my, the whole room is crawling with men. I'll never get over it. So I'll take it as I'll see you later this afternoon, Mr. Vandergelder.
You certainly will. With a certain young lady from the main float of the 14th Street Parade. Good day, Mrs. Malloy.
Mrs. Malloy, I can explain
I do not wish to hear any explanations, Mr. Hackle. Just you and Mr. Tucker do me the pleasure of leaving my shop at once, or I'll be forced to send for Officer Dougherty.
Why, Irene, I believe that calling for the officers is letting them off too easy. The law courts is where they belong. I've been adding up the offenses of the two young men, and you have the grounds for at least 2 writs, a corpus mentis and a garnishee. Now, it's important that you are to have acted amicably. Have dinner with them.
Dinner?
Is that really necessary, Dolly?
Why, Irene, it's the law. Dinner first, garnishee afterwards.
Well, if it must be, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, you may take Miss Fay and myself to dinner tonight.
Delighted, Mrs. Malloy. I speak for Barnaby as well. Now, I hear there's a very nice restaurant in the railroad
Oh,
station.
no, Mr. Hackle. If the Harmonia Gardens is good enough for you and your fashionable friends, it's good enough for us, too. I hear they have a wonderful orchestra there, Minnie.
Oh, we couldn't go there, Mrs. Malloy. Don't misunderstand me. It isn't the money or anything. It's the...
It's the whale.
It's the whale. No, it isn't the whale, Barnaby. It's the dancing. You see, they have dancing in a place like that. Exhibitions, even contests. And it would take me weeks, months, years to learn how to dance. Why, I've been dancing with 2 left feet my... Miss Dolly Levi, 33-year-old chief clerks, taught how to dance.
Yes. Now, you just put your hand here and your other there.
I have absolutely no sense of rhythm.
Why, that happens to be one of the main requirements for the Gallagher-Levi method. Now, if I could just have 5 minutes of your time, they could have you dancing in the streets. We'll start with lesson 7, the waltz kick turn. Right foot step, left foot step, over, around, over again, coochie, coochie, round and around, and loop the loop, and under and unfurl. Yes, when I think of the woman who will find heaven within your arms. Let's go back to lesson 1. Put your hand on her waist and stand. Put your left hand in her right hand. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Look! I'm dancing! Well, I was.
Of course you were, Mr. Hackle. One whose arms you're in, hold on to her tight and spin. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Wow! I'm dancing!
Turn around and turn around, try floating through the air. Can't you be a little more aesthetic?
Don't you think my dancing has a polish and a flair?
Well, the word I'd use is athletic.
Well, my heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that I'm dancing, who cares if I ever stop? Everybody, look at me. I, Cornelius Hackle, sport and dancing.
You're next, Mr. Tucker. Glide and step and step and glide.
Then everybody,
He's dancing!
You can learn to polka if you intend to wake your soul, or the tango with passion seething.
I might join the chorus of the Castle Garden show.
Whatever you do, don't stop breathing.
Well, my heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stop?
When there's someone you hardly know and wish you were closer to, remember that he can be near to you while you're dancing. Though you only just said hello, he's suddenly someone who can make all your daydreams appear to you while you're dancing. Make the music weave a spell, whirl away your worry. Things look almost twice as well when they're slightly blurry. As round and around you go, your spirits will hit the top. And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stop? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stop? Well, Mrs. Levi. How are you, Mrs. Levi?
How are you, Mrs. Rose?
Oh, the same. Pains in my back, stabs in my liver, aches in my sides, but I'm fine. My daughter Fanny got married, you know.
Did she?
A year ago last September. It's been a long time since you've lived here, Mrs. Levi. Such a long, long time.
Ephraim, let me go. It's been long enough. For every evening for years, I've let out the cat, I've locked the door, I've made myself a little rum toddy, and every night before bed I said a prayer to God, thanking him that he made me independent, and that no one else's life was mixed up with mine. And then one night, an oak leaf fell out of my Bible. I put it there the day that you asked me to marry you. A perfectly good oak leaf, without color and without life. And then one day I realized I was that oak leaf. For years I have not shed one tear, or had the wonderful hope that something or another might turn out well. So I'm ready to rejoin the human race, Ephraim, and I want you to give me away. For the parade passes by,
everyone will be marching.
Why, Irene, you're crying.
Oh, Dolly, the world is so full of wonderful things. Come with us, Dolly.
I will, Irene. I will.
Saturday's high life, for the parade passes by. I'm gonna get some life back into my life. I'm ready to move out in front. I've had enough of just passing by life with the rest of them, with the best of them. I can hold my head up high, for I got a goal again. I've got to drive again. I'm gonna feel my heart coming alive again. For the parade passes by. Look at that crowd up ahead. Listen and hear that brass harmony glowing. Look at that crowd up ahead. Pardon me if my old spirit is showing. Those lights over there seem to be telling me where I'm going. When the whistle blows, the cymbals crash, and the sparklers light the sky. I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an baton for the parade. Passes by.
Passes by. Listen and hear that brass harmony glowing. For the parade passes by. Pardon me if my old spirit is showing. Those lights over there seem to be telling me where I'm going. Whistle blows, the cymbals crash, sparklers light the sky. I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an old baton. For the parade passes by. I'm gonna raise the roof, I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone, give me an old baton. For the parade passes by.
Mrs. Levi, she's beautiful. Everything you said and more. Don't move, Miss Money. I'm coming. Hey, cut that out, thief. That's my fiance. I paid good money for that girl, and I want other parts. Miss Money, what have they done to you? Mrs. Levi, I demand an explanation.
Oh, nothing to be upset about, Horace. Just a last-minute substitution. Miss Money had a sudden business appointment at the Mint, but she'll meet you at the Harmonia Gardens at 8 o'clock tonight.
It's the most expensive restaurant in the city.
And it should be. What food and the fastest waiters in New York. By the way, I'm going to be a little bit late, but Miss Money will meet you outside of the restaurant. Wait till you see her, all up in cream and ruby red, singing a sweet little tune, Sweet Rosie O'Grady. You couldn't miss her if you tried.
All right, I'll be there. But only because I already paid for the introduction. See here, You are hereby discharged as my marriage counselor. Do you understand me, Dolly Levi? From here on out, you're just a woman, like any else.
He's as good as mine, Ephraim. I'm gonna raise the roof. I'm gonna carry on. Give me an old trombone. Give me an baton before the parade passes by.
Street for the past 4 hours. But now perhaps we better call a hack or we won't get to the Harmonia Gardens in time. Oh, there's one now. Yoo-hoo!
Oh, we couldn't do that, Mrs. Malloy. Don't get me wrong, it isn't the money or anything. It's just that nowadays, really elegant people never take hacks.
Yeah, hacks is out.
They all go by streetcar.
J.P. Vanderbilt, Diamond Jim Morgan, Andrew
Then by
Carney.
all means, a streetcar. Imagine, just think, I've been elegant all my life and I never even knew it.
Of course, if you really want to be elegant,
We do?
you walk.
Yes, New York, it's really us, Barnaby and Cornelius.
All the guests of Mr. Hackle are feeling great and look spectacular.
What a knack there is to that acting like a born aristocrat.
We got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never ever carry
It off. All who are well-bred agree Minnie Fay has pedigree.
exercise your wildest whims tonight. We are out with diamond gems tonight. Could they be misleading us?
Silver spoons were used for feeding us.
We've got elegance. If you ain't got elegance, you can never
reek of its savoir-faire. We reek of it, some were born with rags and hatches, but we use dollar bills for matches and
Vanderbilt kowtows to us.
J.P. Morgan scrapes and bows to us. We got elegance, we were born with elegance.
Have you noticed when I hold my cup, the saucer never moves?
And the way I keep my pinky up indubitably proves
That we got elegance, we got built in elegance and with elegance, we'll carry it on.
Oh, Minnie, look, they're counting their money again. Isn't that just like the rich? Well, gentlemen, aren't you gonna escort us in?
Of course we are, Mrs. Malloy. Barnaby. Mrs. Malloy.
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
Mrs. Malloy, as we start inside, may I...
Yes, Mr. Hackle?
May I put my arm around your waist?
Yes, Mr. Hackle. But I might as well warn you, a corset is a corset.
But I don't want to be on stage. I just want to get married.
You heard Mrs. Levi. This is the only way we can show your uncle that we mean business. Now, can you weep a little faster? You're throwing me off step and out of my mind.
Sweet Rosie O'Grady, my sweet little Rose. Oh, Mr. Vandergelder, it's so nice to meet you. I know I'm such a talent, you must be speechless.
And it is me, Oda, as the head waiter of the Harmonia Gardens, and your supreme commander. That night of all nights, our usual lightning service will be twice as lightning as ever. Or else. You are finding the stable satisfactory, sir. You'll find that the private dining rooms cost a bit more, but they do afford the best view of the entertainment.
$1.40. Cornelius, that's all that's left.
Are you sure? Count it again.
Prepare yourself for a big night, Minnie. We're out with two of New York's best known sports.
Oh, I did make a mistake, Cornelius.
only $1.35.
Don't count it again. We can't afford it.
Oh, I'm gonna order everything on the menu. Waiter!
Sir, but you will have to move. This table is reserved for Miss Levi and Patty.
And who do you think I am? Only Horst Van de Gelder in party. She's in my party and I in hers.
Oh, well, of course, Mr. Van de Gelder. It's just that Mrs. Levi mentioned nothing about you bringing your little...
My personal physician. That's enough rouge, doctor.
But Mrs. Levi only ordered the chicken for 2.
Chickens are dear.
Und pommes soufflés and waffles and soup.
Why didn't you say it was an Oriental establishment? We'll take 2 bowls of rice. Now get out! Now, Miss Money, I understand you carry respectable sums in your belt.
Yeah, $2. Only it's in my garter. Oh, Cornelius, it's so sweet of you to worry about our reputations, but Minnie and I don't care who see us tonight. Well, Minnie, what have you decided?
Oh, I couldn't have anything at these prices. I really couldn't.
Great rhinestones. What a sensible girl. Waiter will have 4 beers, a loaf of yesterday's bread, and some cheese.
Yesterday's bread? Oh, Cornelius, now I know how you keep half of New York in stitches all the time. Minnie, have you ever had pheasant?
Pheasant?
Say, what's the big idea? You ashamed of something?
It's not that. I just felt a slight breeze.
Oh, well, why didn't you say so? Here, I'll let you borrow this. Now, let's order something to hold us till the rice comes up. Wait up! Wait up! Wait up! Would you please bring a roast suckling pig with chestnut and oyster stuffing, cheese fondue, and some lady fingers? Now, what'll you have? Hey, you with the big hair, what are you doing after the show? Oh, it's sweet of you to worry about our digesting, Cornelius, but I'm sure the pheasants are fresh. We'll have 4, please, and a nice red wine.
Wait a minute, no wine!
No wine?
Champagne!
Champagne!
It's once in a lifetime, Barnaby. Champagne and Neapolitan ice cream and hothouse peaches. And Barnaby, give the band leader a nickel and tell him to play to a wild rose. We want music while we dine.
Say, this is a cafe, isn't it? Let's dance.
The Van de Gelders do not dance, Miss Money. We're Presbyterian.
All right, fine, I'll dance myself. Give him $2 to the band leader, will you? Tell him to play something refined. I'm gonna do the hoochie coochie.
All right, Cornelius. I'll send for the band and promise me you won't order anything else.
You wait here, Miss Money. I'll tell him to play a nice waltz.
So on.
You there. Give $2 to the band leader and tell him to play a waltz.
Here's a nickel for the band leader. Can you tell him to play a wild rose?
You stay seated.
Sir.
And 2 more pheasants. Give me back my waltz. Miss Money, get off the table.
Excuse me? That's my wallet. I know it is because there's nothing in it but $1, 2 dimes, 5 nickels, and Cornelius! Cornelius! Did she say 2 pheasants? 3, 4 pheasants for the house! And who cares if we don't see the whale? I'll buy one of my own!
Oh, sweet, oh boy, oh sweet dear boy, what's this, shouting? What did I tell you? What's happening in my restaurant?
But sir, she's here.
What?
The lady.
Are you sure, boy?
Yes, just like you said, she rolled up in a big red carriage, and out walks a small lady with the brown hair and the biggest handbag you ever seen, and one of those, like, things.
Oh, the answer hat?
No, it has feathers. Antlers are Tuesday.
Tuesday. Oh, well, nonetheless, I think I know who you're referring to. You know, long time ago, she was like, I'll be back, and now she is back. I bet you know who it is. It is Dolly. She's here.
Rudolph, I heard someone laughing in the kitchen window and it sounded like...
It's true. It is Dolly. She just stepped out of a white and gold carriage. Oh, it's so good. Oh, she had the biggest wallet. It is Dolly. She's back. Oh, did you know? Oh, that girl knows how to party like it's 1899. It's just so good. Oh, yeah. The Gucci Gucci. Oh, yeah.
Dolly! She's here!
Hello, hello. looking great, Stanley. Did you lose some weight, Stanley? Dolly's overjoyed and overlanded, overpowered.
Heels in eyes, twinkle, Caesar eyes, twinkle, and you still get glances from those handsome men. So
Fellas, find me a vacant knee, fellas.
you'll never go away again.
Say you there, girlie. Dolly Gallagher. What are you doing in that getup? And you're half an hour late. And I demand an explanation of...
Ernestina.
Exactly.
Ernestina, whom I trusted.
She wanted to do the hoochie coochie.
Well, she always was artistic. Horace, I'm going to have our table moved down in front. There's someone in the dance competition I particularly want you to see. Now, don't let's say another word about it. I can't eat a thing, and what have you ordered?
What you wanted, a chicken. Now, about this hoochie coochie girl.
Did you say a chicken? I don't think I could face a chicken, not after what's happened.
Good. Then cancel that chicken.
And bring a turkey.
What are you doing now?
Oh, nothing. Just looking around, getting acquainted with my surroundings.
That's the problem with you, Dolly. Always getting your nose in other people's affairs. Anyone married to you would be nervous as a cat.
What? What are you saying?
I said anyone who married you would get nervous.
Horace Vandergelder, you stop there. Right there. I can't believe you'd even mention such a thing. Why, I have no intention of marrying you.
Well, that isn't what I meant at all.
Well, I certainly do hope not. You go your way, and I'll go mine. I'm not just some Irene Malloy who can be turned by a few chocolate-covered peanuts unshelled. Why, the idea of even mentioning such a thing.
Mrs. Levi, you misunderstood me.
Well, I certainly do hope not. If I had any intention of marrying again, it'd be a far more pleasure of a man than you. Anyway, the waiter's here with our food. I'll serve Mr. Vandergelder, Rudolph. Ah, yes. Now here's some white meat for you, and some dumplings, lighter than air they are, and some giblets, very tender and very good for you. Now, as I was saying, you go your way, and I'll go mine. And start right in on the wine. I think it might make you feel better at once. And since you brought the matter up, there is one more thing I'm going to say.
If it has anything to do with me marrying you, Dolly Levi, you're wasting your time. I'll never ask you to marry me.
Yes, Horace, it is true. I am a woman who likes to know everything that's going on, and who likes to manage things. But I would not like to manage something as out of control as your household. You'll have to do that yourself. God helping you.
It is not out of control.
Oh, very well, Horace. Now have some beets. They're good.
I don't like beets.
No, Horace. A complaining, quarrelsome, friendless soul like you is no man for me. You salt your beets, and I'll salt mine.
Will you stop saying that?
I won't say another word.
Good.
Except this, Horace. A man your age would enjoy hearing the honest truth.
My age, my age. Why are you always going on about my age?
Well, I don't know what your age is, but I do know that in Yonkers with bad food and a bad temper, you'll double it in about 6 months. Now have some more beets, Horace. They're good.
I don't like beets. I hate beets.
The pity of it all is you'd be a perfectly charming, witty, amiable man if you wanted to.
I don't want to be charming.
But you are, Horace. Look at you now. You can't even hide it from yourself. Now sit down. There's one more thing I'm going to say.
I told you before. I will never ask you to marry me.
Well, then I guess you'd like me to ask you. Well, I'm sorry, Horace. I'm turning you down.
How can you turn me down when I haven't even asked you anything?
Well, it's no use, Horace. I've made up your mind. Now here, let me cut your wings.
I have a headache. I'm going back to my hotel.
But you can't leave now. The competition's about to begin.
Here's the money to pay for your dinner. $20 and... Well, there's nothing in here but $1, 3 dimes, 5 pennies, and a button. This isn't my purse. I've lost my purse.
Barnaby, that purse you found.
It's Mr. Vandergelder's. Cornelius, we've got to get out of here.
That's impossible. I can't imagine you without your purse.
What am I gonna do? I've never been here before. They don't know me. And stop eating that. I can't pay for it.
Horace, it's the latest thing, a polka. And there's one dancer in particular that I want you to see. Now sit down and enjoy their graceful movements.
Wait a minute. That man. That dancer.
I know. Isn't he wonderful? With talent like that, he's sure to win the cup.
Come along now, Mrs. Malloy. It's been a perfectly wonderful evening, but I'm afraid we're going to have to cut it a bit, excuse me, short.
Oh, Minnie, look! It's a polka. Cornelius, I simply must have one dance.
But Mr. Vandergelder's right there. We've got to go.
We will go, but we'll dance our way out.
I don't want to hear any of your explanations. You're fired.
Police! Police! Officer, I need you to arrest that man. I mean,
All right, you're all under arrest. Arrest them all of you. All right, we only have 3 pairs of handcuffs, so y'all are gonna have to share. Hey, get over there! You're arrested.
That's better. Now, you've all been charged with disturbing the peace, assault and battery, inciting to riot, and several other serious violations of the law of this city. Is there anyone here to speak on your behalf? I say, is there anyone here to speak on your behalf? Idiot. Mrs. Dolly Levi, counselor at law.
Your Honor, the defense rests. No. There is no need to call witness, ladies and gentlemen. When I look upon that bench, a brow that gleams with honor, and a pair of scholarly glasses that pierce through the heart of injustice, and a nose. Ladies and gentlemen, I ask you to look at that nose. A nose that shines like a flaming beacon. Your Honor, can I have you turn this way a little bit so we can get a better look at your beacon? Yes, a living symbol for the motto of this great land, E proboscis unum. Now, Your Honor, I ask for freedom for my clients, and a verdict of guilty for the only true culprit, Horace Vandergelder of Yonkers, New York.
Dolly!
The only man responsible for the grievous charges of private property.
a curtain bent a veta ton in a solid gold cap bent. Es fair.
Cruelty to a poor, unfortunate minor. Can you repeat that, my dear?
Begging your pardon, Mrs. Levi, but if it may please the court, I have something to say.
Cornelius Hackle, I was just about to call on you. Please go right ahead.
Cornelius, if you dare testify against me, you'll be discharged.
You've already done that, Mr. Vandergelder.
Well, I'll do it again.
You've done it again, too. Well, even if you hadn't, I'd still say what I have to say. I don't know much about disturbing the peace or inciting a riot. But I do know that what happened to me today, which is the most important thing that can happen in a man's life, might never have happened if I'd obeyed your orders and stayed in Yonkers, New York. I'm talking about none other than love.
You're telling me you fell in love after 33 years because you took one evening off?
Oh, no, Mr. Vandergelder. I didn't fall in love with Mrs. Irene Malloy of this city in just an evening. An hour. No, even that's too long. What's less than a minute?
A second.
Less than that.
A moment.
That's it. I'll go slowly so you can get it all down.
It only takes a moment for your eyes to meet, and then
locked up in Yonkers for years and years, and all the while, wonderful people like Malloy were walking around in New York, and I didn't know them at all. I don't know if you can tell from where you're standing. Well, for instance, the way her eye and forehead and cheek all come together up there. Can you? I tell you right now, a fine woman is the greatest work of God on earth. You can talk all you want about Niagara Falls or the pyramids. They aren't in there at all. And of course I've seen women before, but today I actually talked to one equal to equal. And they're so different from men. And they're awfully mysterious too. I bet you can know a woman 100 years and never really be sure whether she liked you or not. Today I've lost so many things. My job, my future, everything that people think is important. But I don't care. Even if I have to dig ditches for the rest of my life, I will be a ditch digger who once had a wonderful day.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. I didn't get all that back there, Mr. Hackle. Could you start at... It only...
Takes a moment, but his arms fell short and strong. It only takes a moment.
He held me for an instant, but his arms felt sure and strong. It only takes a moment to be loved a whole life long.
And that is all that love's about.
And we'll recall when time runs out that it only took a moment to be loved a whole life
Dismissed. Dismissed. All dismissed. All except for Horace Van de Gelder of Yonkers, New York. You're all free. Now bless you, my children, and go.
Dolly, you guys see a prisoner?
Well, that's your life, Horace. Without knees, without clerks, and without your purse. Well, there's only one more thing I'm going to say to you now.
I told you already, Mrs. Levi. Never in a million years will I ever ask you to marry me.
All I was going to say to you was... Goodbye!
What?
Goodbye.
Now hold on, Dolly.
It's too late, Horace. I failed. And when a woman fails, well, there's nothing else she can say. Except... Goodbye! Oh, goodbye! 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 Goodbye!
Dolly.
Don't try to stop me, Horace! Please! Wave your little hand and whisper so long, dearie. You ain't gonna see me anymore. But when you discover that your life is dreary, don't you come a knocking at my door. 'Cause I'll be up
old cash register.
It's a little lumpy, but it rings. Don't come a knocking, I'll be all dolled up and singing that song that says you dog, I told you so. So, Horace, you discover life's a sad old story when you see your darling shovel off to glory. I should have said so long ago. Ha!
Never. Not in a million years will I ever ask you to marry me, Dolly Levi. You go your way, and I go mine. Dolly, Dolly, Dolly.
You stamped, Mr. Vandergelder?
Cornelius Hackle. Come crawling back, is it?
No, Mr. Vandergelder. I just dropped by for my $146.35. You see, I've decided to go into business for myself, and since the only business I know is hay and feed, I've decided to open my own store.
And Cornelius has found the perfect location, Mr. Vandergelder. Right across the street from you.
So, you think you can compete with Vandergelders, do you? I just love to see you try. And what do you want?
My back pay, Mr. Vandergelder, $6.12.
You can't do this to me. Any of you. I'll go to the courts. I'll get
Horace
lawyers.
Vandergelder, as I live and breathe, if you don't look handsome in that outfit, so few men have the courage to wear funeral attire.
Dolly Gallagher.
I know what you're going to say. You're not happy with Ernestina, but I have come to tell you that I have found you the ideal wife. But you were doing something? What were you doing?
Getting Cornelius's money, Dolly. $146.
And 35 cents.
And $6.12 of mine.
And the money my mama left me.
$52.48.
38 cents.
48.
All right, fine. If it's money you all want, then the safe's upstairs.
Money, 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 money. Vandergelder's money. It's the sun we walk under. It can kill or cure. And Vandergelder never tires of telling that everyone in the world are fools. And in a way, he's right. Himself, Cornelius, Irene, and even myself. Why, we're all fools, and we're all in danger of destroying the world in our folly. But we do deserve the 4 or 5 pleasures that are our right in this world. And that takes a little money. The difference between a little money and no money is enormous. And that could shatter the world. And the difference between an enormous amount of money and a little amount of money is enormous. And that can also shatter the world. As my late husband Ephraim Levi used to say, money, pardon the expression, is like manure. And it's not worth a thing unless it's encouraging young things to grow. Anyways, that's the opinion of the second Mrs. Vandergelder. Which reminds me, Ephraim, I'm ready for that sign.
Well, what are you waiting for? It goes upstairs.
Anyways, as I was saying, Horace, I have found you the ideal wife.
I don't want you to find me no ideal wives. If I wanted an ideal wife, I'd find one myself. And I have. And it's you, damn it.
Horace.
I know I've been a fool about Mrs. Malloy and that other woman, but please, just take me back and marry me.
Horace, you stop right there.
What is it?
Well, we both know that you're the first citizen of Yonkers and that your wife should be a somebody. Tell me, Horace, am I a somebody?
Of course you are. You're a wonderful woman.
No, Horace, you're partial. No, it won't be enough for you to load your wife with money and jewels and expect she'd be the benefactress of the town. By the way, it's bad business letting Cornelius open a shop across the street from you. You better take him back and let him be your partner.
Partner?
And then Barnaby can have Cornelius's old job.
Now see here, Mrs. Levi.
That way we can all be together to dance at Ermengarde's wedding.
That does it! You've gone too far. I'll dance at no weddings. Besides, I don't even know how. It'd take me weeks, months, years to learn. All right, I'll dance.
Why, Horace, I never thought I'd hear you say such a thing.
Well, what are you waiting for? That back room, idiot! Go!
Horace, what on earth is going on up there?
Nothing. I just thought I'd have that front room done over in blue wallpaper.
Horace.
I know the old paper ain't worn out yet, but that young fella just started a business here in town. He needs a fresh start. You see, I always believe money, pardon the expression, was a lot like manure.
Thank you, Ephraim.
Hello, Dolly. Well, hello, Dolly. It's so nice to have you here where you belong. I never knew, Dolly, without you, Dolly, life was awfully flat, and more than that was awfully wrong.
Here's my hat, Horace. I'm staying where I'm at, Horace. Darling, you'll never go away.
Wonderful woman.
Again.